Welcome back, everyone. Now we are going to talk all about the heart chakra, which is the center chakra. So we've previously discussed our matter chakras, chakra 1, 2, and 3, in the lower portion of our physical vessel. Now we're going into the heart space, which is the transition point. This is the center point for everything, and one area that I really love to work with as I'm moving through those lower matter chakras into your more etheric chakras, your connection chakras. So we're going to spend quite a bit of time on the heart space because there's so much to do here. This is the area of love, both self-love and love of others. This is also the area of forgiveness, again, both self-forgiveness and forgiveness of others. So after mentioning those two, we can see what a broad topic this is and how much work and expanse and growth there is possible in this space. So I really want to support you guys with practices as well as some education on the heart chakra itself. Let's get started. The heart chakra is the area of deep love, of connection. And so one of the areas that I really want to dive into is moving your attention from your physical heart into the center of the chest, into the true area of the chakra. So let us place our hand over our heart, start to really get connected with that beat. This is also a great practice that you can do pretty much anywhere, even if you just have a few moments. Taking a deep breath in through the nose, pressing the hand up against the chest and starting to feel the beat of the physical heart. Then I like to move that hand into the center of the chest and place my other hand. I also always make note which of my hands is first. My right hand is my dominant, and I find my more masculine hand, and my left hand is my feminine, my less dominant hand, even though I am ambidextrous. And so here I like to lean into which is my leading energy right now, and then I can offer that switch if it serves me. So if I'm leading with my masculine self, and this might be different hands for different people, it might coincide with your dominant and your less dominant hand. It might be the side or the part of the brain that you really associate with that. So just asking yourself which might be which for you. Whichever I lead with, I then ask myself if I would like to continue leading with this energy. For today, I would like to be more receptive, soft, more into my feminine as we dive into love and forgiveness. So I'm actually going to switch those two now that I'm working with the chakra itself. So with my left hand down first and my right on top, I'm going to consciously have 3 breaths into this space. So as I breathe in through the nose, I'm going to elongate the spine and give myself space for my energy. I'm going to hold the breath at the top, but I'm really going to breathe into my heart space. So instead of just breathing in through the nose or into the head or just into the lungs or the diaphragm or the belly, I'm going to breathe the oxygen into the heart space. I encourage you guys to join me for these 3 intentional breaths. Breathing in, into the heart, suspending at the top, and then when we release, releasing with an audible sigh that can be as gentle or as loud, as profound as you feel connected to. I also like to allow the body to collapse a little bit, to really pull the belly in, collapse the lungs, crunch down a slight bit as you're letting go of that oxygen. And breath number 2. Suspend, breathe into the heart space, hold the energy in the heart space, and then release. And number 3. Then as I release my hands, I like to open my hands and place them on the tops of my thighs or on the tops of my knees if you're in seated lotus position. This represents openness, receptivity, and connection to me. It's the allowing, the witnessing, and the support of the practice that we're going to step in. I really love to see how the hands naturally lay and then change that if it serves me. So for instance, the dominant, non-dominant hand, what I would like to lead with, I can shift. Also, if I place my hands down on my lap, I can shift those up and open myself into receptivity. So this activity really helps us to direct our oxygen, our energy, our life force into the heart space. It also helps us move from the physical heart, what we connect, or what we've often been told is the heart, to the center of the chest, to the energetic heart space, which is much more than just the physical vessel. As we've been learning in several of these videos, we are so much more than just our bodies. So we want to move our energy from just the physical to the energetic and help to connect the two of them. Also, I'm going to continue to remind myself to open, to welcome, to allow this support in as I'm taking this practice on in conjunction with you guys. So anytime you desire support, you desire to soften or receive or welcome in that which you've been manifesting or writing down as a goal, flip those hands up, place those on the tops of the legs or the tops of the knees, and then breathe into those hands, or draw your energy into the center of the palm, or just witness the fact that you are open to receiving. That's going to be my first suggestion for how to connect with the heart space and get connected not only to the heart, but to the energetic center that is your fourth chakra. All right, so we just talked a little bit about the location of this chakra at the center of the chest. The Sanskrit name for this chakra is Anahata. We might also hear this called the heart chakra, the center chakra, the bridge chakra, the connection point, or just chakra 4, the heart space. The color that's associated with your heart chakra is green, also pink for the high heart. You can separate these energies in the heart space as well as the high heart. So the love of others versus the love of ourselves, forgiveness of others versus the forgiveness of ourselves. A few crystals that are really supportive in this heart space are rose quartz, mangano calcites, and then I also love to bring in green calcite or something like an emerald that carries that rich, beautiful green energy that supports the heart. A supportive affirmation for the heart space: I am love. I also love to move into just love or just am or be, so that we start to strip away our individuality and step into the vibration of just love or just being, just presence in the space. Now I'm going to offer you guys quite a few different practices to really support yourself in developing the muscle that is your heart space. We started with the practice of moving the energetic center from our physical heart to the center of the chest. Now I want to support you guys in truly dropping into the heart space. So if we can all roll our shoulders back, elongate the spine, open the hands on the tops of the legs, close the eyes, and start to consciously become aware of our breath. I'm going to ask that we breathe into the heart space again. So drawing that breath right into the center of the chest if you need to, or if it serves you, placing the hands on your chest so that you can not only feel the rise and fall of the breath, but the hands on the heart space, that warmth, that sensation, that energy will allow you to drop into this space even more. I love to draw my focus onto the physical heart first, again moving that energy into the center of the chest, following the beat of my physical heart. And I start to feel that beat not only in my chest, but starting to radiate beyond the physical space of my chest. So start to feel that heartbeat in the belly, in the legs, all the way down to the feet. Feel that heartbeat in the throat, in the third eye, all the way up to the crown, until I can move that heartbeat into my auric field, until my entire energy center is thumping with the heartbeat. At first, this might be a creation of that beat, almost as if you're listening to a drum. You might place the hand on the physical heart, feel, sense, get the pattern of the heartbeat, and then move that to the center and beat that, radiate that out. But let us use our conscious breath, our intention to draw our energy to this heart center, and really start to drop into the heart. As we do this, let us offer a mantra, either out loud or just in the mind's eye, of I am love. 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 Now let us move into just love on its own. Love, love, love. Starting to feel that word penetrate into the energetic center of the chest. Love, 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 love. Now let us move into just being. So instead of saying the word being in the pattern that we've used for these sounds, let us just radiate being and presence. So dropping in, using these next few moments of silence to just be one with your heart. Feeling the lingering presence of the energy that we've built by saying, I am love, and love, starting to really drop into the heart space. If that's envisioning a heart shape in the center of the chest, if that's envisioning a specific color or sensation or feeling, let us continue to drop in for these next few moments of silence. Let us take an in-breath, suspend at the top, drawing that oxygen, that energy, that chi, that life force into the heart space, soothing, saturating the heart space with that energy, and then releasing with an audible sigh. Now let us relax and open the eyes. Dropping into the heart space is a way to connect with not only the bridge between your matter and etheric chakras, but your version of love, of self-love, of forgiveness of both yourself and others. Coming into this space before doing things like an embodiment practice, a breathwork practice, receiving energy healing, journaling, meditating, will really allow an even more profound experience because you move from a space of love or above. I hope you guys love that practice. Let's dive into a few others. It would be really hard to talk about the heart space energy without talking about shadow work or working with your inner child. These are two areas that I highly recommend everyone at least dips their toe into. Inner child work allows us to go back to a version of ourselves and heal, support, offer connection. And for me personally, this has really been an act of love and an act of forgiveness, both for myself and for others. So a very easy and quick way to dive into inner child work and get this started by working through the heart space is again coming to center, placing the hands on the heart, dropping in, maybe using the practice that we just went through to get very comfortable, very connected with the heart space. Then I like to open my arms as if I'm going in for a hug and picture myself at a specific age in front of me. Maybe that's 4 or 5, maybe that's 10 or 16, calling to mind an age where you craved that love, craved that support, and maybe didn't have it or didn't have it in the way that you might have desired. So picturing yourself in front of you at any age that serves you or any age that pops into the mind. Sometimes our intuition can point us in a direction that we're not even consciously aware of. So opening those arms, facing that version of self, that childlike version of self, that teenage version of self, that young adult version of self, and welcoming them into your arms. Bringing this energy back to your heart space as if you're scooping them up or hugging them or cuddling them or bringing them into your lap, and then bringing that energy to your heart. Starting to picture in your mind's eye, with your memories, with pictures you may have seen, or just the belief, the feeling that you have that connects you to that version of self. And again, going into I love you, but saying it to this younger version of yourself. Holding them, loving them, supporting them, kissing them, hugging them, holding their hands, maybe sitting them on your lap and reading them a book, but bringing that version of you in and loving them. Maybe that is including them in your auric field. Maybe that's including them in the heartbeat that you have, but bringing that version of yourself at a younger age into your heart space right now and showering that version of love. We all exist in the current moment. So anytime we're calling up that version of self, we're sending healing to that version of self. We are both healing ourselves in this moment, as well as in the eternal present moment that contains that version of self. So drawing them in, loving them, showering them with affection, attention, support, connection. One of my favorite quotes that I ever read was, be the version that your little self needed. Be the love that your child self needed. Be the guiding force or the support system that little you desired. So I love to step into inner child work by welcoming that younger, youthful version of me. Maybe that's 4 years old and you're picking them up. Maybe that's even younger and you're holding them. Maybe it's you with an arm around your 25-year-old self and drawing that energy into the heart space and offering love and forgiveness and release and connection to that version of self, while also understanding that this is a healing that not only goes to that version of self, but comes back to you and naturally ebbs and flows between the two of you, connecting in the space of the heart. In addition to inner child work, shadow work is acknowledging and integrating. For me, it's really about the integration, not so much the separation from the shadow, but the bringing of it in, the honoring it, the seeing that the lessons are in there as well. There is so much to learn from not only the light, but also the dark, because we are a total being. Both parts are important. Both parts are necessary. So again, just a quick, easy, beginner version of tapping into shadow work is thinking about someone who you really love, you really admire, you might really look up to, and selecting something that describes them, and then doing that same thing for someone who might get under your skin, someone who might irritate you, someone who you might, I'm not sure why, but I just have an issue with them, and asking what is a specific characteristic, something they do or say or how they hold themselves, then seeing where in yourself you see that quality from the person that you really admire and the person that very much irritates you or gets under your skin. For shadow work specifically, let us lean into that characteristic that annoys us or bothers us. Asking yourself, in what way do I see this within myself? In what way is this other person a mirror to one of my lower vibration qualities? And then going into meditation, potentially journaling about this, but allowing that mirror, that support that the universe is providing you through another person to guide you into healing and integrating a version of self. So for instance, maybe someone expresses jealousy or someone speaks in a way that doesn't feel connected to you. Ask yourself, in what way have I expressed jealousy? Have I ever used that language before? And looking inward, using those other people, those other experiences as a flashlight into yourself to truly bring in those shadow aspects and heal them. Sometimes it's transmute them. Sometimes it's just that we are being called to look at it, to acknowledge it, and then move through it. Or say, yes, that is something about myself that is not my favorite, that I don't love, that I want to support myself through. Writing that down, becoming aware of it, working on it, and then seeing how that plays out in your life. Now that you've leaned in, you've looked, you've selected it, now that you're consciously working on it, how does that transition in your life? Great inner child practice and amazing way for you to start integrating any shadow aspects. All coming back to love or above vibration in the heart space. For those of you who have sat in session with me, you might have heard the amazing Hawaiian prayer that I lean into so frequently called Ho'oponopono. For others of you, you might have seen this with other healers or somewhere on the internet or even heard it in a song. Ho'oponopono is one of my most profound prayers, rituals, practices that I use for the heart space. So I'm going to teach you a little bit about this, and then I'm going to walk you guys through how I personally use it. But again, all of these practices, I encourage you guys to explore and try them in different ways. So Ho'oponopono is a process of moving our energy from a lower vibration to a higher vibration, which is a practice that I really lean into, not only through this prayer, but through other tools as well, like EFT, like meditation, like journaling. It's teaching our mind, body, and soul that we might start in this lower vibration, but that we always have the ability to shift into a more aligned space. So Ho'oponopono starts out with, I'm so sorry. And I love to direct this into the two directions. I'm so sorry, as if you're saying that to someone outside of yourself, even though we're all connected because we're all one. Someone outside of yourself that you might want to offer that I'm sorry to. Maybe that's the collective vibration. Maybe that's the planet. Maybe that's a specific person. Then also turning that inward. I'm so sorry to the self for showing up not at 100%, for not speaking my truth, for not honoring my own boundaries. So I'm so sorry, as if you're saying sorry to someone else, the entirety of everything else that is maybe beyond your physical vessel. Maybe it's just the belief that you are separate from others. And I'm so sorry, looking inward as a way to say I'm sorry to the self for anything that you might have done or said, or a vibration that you held. Then we move into please forgive me. And again, here we can ask for forgiveness from the collective vibration, from everything that we see as other than ourselves. We can also say, please forgive me to the self. Please forgive me for saying, doing, acting in this way, not showing up as my highest self. Maybe please forgive me to a friend or a partner, to a pet, or even to our own belief structure or our own goals. I'm so sorry, desire of mine that I know is so deeply meant for me. I've held myself back from this. Or I'm so sorry, self, for putting shoulds and shame on top of myself. I'm so sorry, other person, for saying something that I know hurts you because I felt hurt. So again, we'll start, I'm so sorry. Please forgive me. Then thank you. Thanking the collective vibration, thanking others, thanking ourselves for showing up, for doing this work, for looking inward, for taking the time to move through this energetic process. And then we end with, I love you. So expressing love for the collective, love for the planet, love for others, love for ourselves, love for our healing. Because of this projection, the movement through these different vibrations, I'm so sorry, please forgive me, thank you, I love you. We really train our energy and show our energetic, not only body, but awareness and everything that we were and are to be, that we can move through these frequencies, these vibrations, that being human is to make mistakes. But part of that is also that we get to step into growth. We get to heal. We get to relieve this lower vibration and move into love or above. So again, this is called Ho'oponopono. And I am going to move us through this process a little bit and direct our attention so that you guys can utilize this prayer and ritual. It has absolutely changed my life. I'm so grateful to the individual who shared this with me, and I'm so blessed to share it with you today. So again, Ho'oponopono. I'm so sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. I ask that if you're able to, you close your eyes and you place your hands over your heart and call to mind whether you would like to utilize this process for outside of you or what you perceive as outside of you or within yourself. Self-love, self-healing, self-forgiveness, and starting in that place and then moving into the other place. So starting with the self and moving into the collective, or starting with the collective or an individual and moving into the self. I'm so sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. Ho'oponopono. I'm so sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. Ho'oponopono. Now shifting, changing the direction of this prayer, of this ritual. I'm so sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. I'm so sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. Opening our hands and placing them on the tops of the legs. Moving the head from side to side. Really starting to feel the energy radiate from the center of the chest, from the heart space, from our heart chakra. And one final time. Ho'oponopono. I'm so sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. Every time I work with this prayer, with this ritual, with this practice, it really does take my energy from a place that it is and elevates it to the place that we desire to be, vibrating at love or above. I'm sure several of you have heard about the difference in frequencies that different emotions hold. For instance, love vibrates at a much higher frequency than envy or guilt or shame. So every time we can step into love or gratitude or bliss or enjoyment or play or excitement or joy, we're able to elevate our vibration. When our vibration is elevated, we're calling in more and more like that vibration, because like attracts like. So in any moment where you feel your energy dropping down, if for instance you've started a day off and something's happened, like spilling coffee on yourself or getting your coat caught in the door, and you find that after that one little lower vibration experience, you start to call in and experience other lower vibration things, take a moment and draw your energy back up to a space of love or above. Place the hands over the heart, breathe in consciously, call to mind someone that you love, call to mind an experience, or play a song, or write something down. Maybe read a page from a book that you love, and elevate your vibration up to a space of love or above. Another great tip in this area is to make a gratitude list, either just in the head or writing this down. But what are you grateful for right now in the moment? Even after that coffee spilled, even after your jacket's been caught in the door, can you be grateful for the feet that allow you to walk to that space? Can you be grateful for the oxygen in your lungs? Can you be grateful for the job that you're walking into? Can you be grateful for the partner that you have in your life? Can you be grateful for your mind, your body, your soul? Creating a list of gratitude helps us elevate our vibration. Gratitude is also a really amazing way for you to get connected to your heart space. So again, placing the hands over the heart or drawing our energy into the heart space, and then drawing or painting or writing or speaking or whispering those gratitudes onto the heart, helping them to beam and beat from the heart space and move through our entire auric field, so that everything from the tips of the toes to the top of the head to the edge of our energetic body is vibrating at a space of love or above. Love is the ultimate vehicle for healing. Love is such a profound space to work in. So if you are ever desiring ritual or practice or ceremony or connection and you're not sure where to get started, I encourage my clients to lean into the heart space anytime that you're looking for guidance. Coming into the heart. In what way can I forgive myself? In what way can I offer connection to myself? Some amazing ideas for this work might be leaning into a mirror and speaking to yourself in a loving way. Telling yourself things that you love about your mind, your body, your soul. Maybe writing a love letter to yourself with a pen and paper or on your computer, or closing the eyes and painting this on a canvas in the mind's eye. Loving on yourself, expressing reasons why you know, believe, and feel so connected to your worth, the fact that you are capable, you are deserving. I love to do this around my goals and desires. I am worthy of, insert my desire. I am capable of achieving, insert goal here. Reiterating to myself that I was born worthy, that I was born deserving, that I am of that energy right now, that my desires come from a beautiful place within me, and that they would not have been placed there if they weren't for me. I also love to remind myself that I can never miss anything that is for me. You can never make a decision and circumvent a person, an adventure, an experience, a vibration that is meant for you. So leaning into this trust, this awareness, this connection, and this healing helps to evolve our heart space. I also love to write forgiveness letters to myself. I forgive myself for, and then write in any lower vibration experiences or thoughts that I'm having. This also really supports me in my own limiting beliefs practice. So if you're carrying a limiting belief, like money doesn't grow on trees, or you have to work hard for your money, or maybe you have a belief that as a woman I can only do X, Y, and Z, or I have to do it this way, or I can never accomplish this. I find that usually, always, and never signify a limiting belief, or something that I hear in my own mind that does not feel connected to me, or something that feels like it's contracting my energy instead of expanding my energy. Whenever that happens, I love to write that down. I forgive myself for believing, thinking, feeling, replaying that programming. And then I will cross out the thing that I do not believe, the thing that I'm rewiring, and then write down my true belief. So for instance, if we use the example of the limiting belief around money doesn't grow on trees, I forgive myself for thinking and feeling and hearing and sometimes experiencing the belief that money doesn't grow on trees. Then I will cross out money doesn't grow on trees. I know that there is always enough for me. I know that there's always more coming in than going out. I know that money is a neutral resource, one that I get to utilize to expand my message, to expand my sense of living and support me in this human life. And I'll write that down, and then I will read that 3 or 5 times to replace the limiting belief. I might place my hands over my heart and set that new intention into my heart space, and then with a few conscious breaths, move that from the heart space out into every chakra, both down and up and into the auric field. What does our 4th chakra look like when it's in balance? This might look like deep love of self. It might be the ability to forgive ourselves when we make a mistake. Mistakes are lessons for us, and it is our job, our duty, to not only look at them and forgive ourselves, but then choose the more aligned path as we move forward. This might be an abundance of loving relationships, the ability to love even though our hearts have been hurt at times, the ability to stay soft even in a world that is trying to harden our hearts. When the chakra is unbalanced, we may experience loaded jealousy. We might hold on to self-loathing and replay that over and over again. We might experience bitterness, anger, even rage. Sometimes even indifference, lack of engagement, disconnection from self-love, love to and from others. I hope all of these practices support you in not only connecting to your heart space, but expanding the vibration in the heart space, encompassing our entire energetic system, our energetic body, with the vibration of love or above. Just a reminder that the heart space, that 4th chakra, is the transition point from our lower matter chakras into our etheric chakras. So make sure that you guys have watched our first video on chakras 1 through 3 and continue to watch so that we can dive into chakras 5, 6, and 7 next. Thanks for joining.